Hey, how's it going? I have some cards to read for you, but first, please look at my signs and my forehead. um, so I pulled these cards after I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning because you know how that goes. You fall asleep real early, and next thing you know, it's the stupid middle of the night, and you're just awake. So, yeah, I was awake, and then I was like, oh, really attracted to my Gemstone Whispers deck, red version. And I'm looking at it, and I know that these items are not on that box. They do not appear in the artwork on that box. But I was seeing hearts, like the hearts that are not shaped like actual hearts, art hearts. And roses, red roses. So the love thing, the heart thing, I don't think is too complicated. I think it was like love, but I guess romantic love. And then the roses, I always associate red roses with Mary and the Sisters of Mary. So you may be asking, well, which Mary? Well, I'm talking of the biblical Mary, by the way. So, yeah, which one? I think both, actually. I think they're part of the same sisterhood. And I except for, one being, Yeshua's mom, I don't think that, I don't think they're, trying to edge each other out of position on that. I think it's a lateral, a lateral thing. So, yeah, okay, so I pulled all of these, and I have something that I was thinking about just before I started doing this, because before this, I did look at these cards, and I was like, well, okay, I pulled them, and they say stuff, but in reference to what? So I had to, for me, because I'm simple like that, I had to apply it to something. And I didn't get out today at all because I was sort of stuck here doing my little volunteer job. I screwed up a totally important donation, and it's not resolved. And so I did not get out and get my normal sort of input that I would normally have gotten. I didn't even go out on my deck because I didn't put on pants today. I just sat inside the door, and I have a little, light blanket. It's actually a crib blanket, but I didn't know that when I bought it. I thought it was bigger, but it works out when it's warm and I get cool at night, or for a lap drape when I don't feel like wearing pants. And I just sat in the doorway, so I didn't get zero sort of outdoor time, but I didn't go out and take a ride like I normally do and get my mail. Well, I know there's a lot of mail in my mailbox, and I keep going by there, and I just swept, what the hell? Either the bike that I'm using is so big and unmaneuverable, awkward. It's just, I don't like to use it to try to get to the mailbox. It is a pain in the butt and the back and the knee and the elbow, and I am not lying. Every one of those parts hurts when I ride that particular bike. So when I use the other one, though, I haven't been using my big messenger bag because that thing is rubberized fabric. I have stuff in it, so it's heavy, and it's just hot sitting on your back like a clammy bat when it's that when it's summer. So I have just the little clutch that fits like my keys and my ID and a phone. It's not. I can't go shopping with like unless I'm gonna buy a pack of cigarettes. I'm saying I can't carry anything on it. And why was I saying that? Doesn't matter. Couldn't do either one today because I was in here trying to fix my screw up and it's still not. I don't know what happens. It's volunteer, so they can't really fire me, but there's other threads that are more significant that attach me to this particular little occupation. So I have a little anxiety about it, but I'm sure it'll work out. I mean, that's just me, I guess. I just go straight to the worry. But there was something that was going on today, something else. It's been ongoing, we'll say since Thursday, because I made the appointment to see the doctor Thursday before, and that's kind of... I did it when I got to the place that I was like, okay, this is now a thing that I should really take seriously. So it's about my weight and my inability to control it. It didn't used to be a problem when I worked because I was occupied all day and I wasn't sitting at here, which is my desk, which happens to be in the kitchen. And so I was doing so good the past 2 summers, and then this summer everything just kind of didn't go right. Half of my things that I could go outside and exercise on were out of order for like almost the first couple of months of summer. The first couple of months. It's only 3 months. Well, I'll say like late spring when it really started to warm up. So we could call it maybe 4 months of warm weather. And for about 2 of them, nothing worked except my motorized wheelchair, which, I'm not getting any exercise unless you consider trying not to fall over when I'm going down a driveway or a curb or something. They make those really steep. I asked the guy that brought the thing, because he was like, there's a seatbelt, you want to use the seatbelt, right? You should, he was like, trying to, subtly talk me into using the seatbelt, and I was like, I'm not using the seatbelt. Because when I tried the seatbelt on, it was just binding, and my point is, I don't use the seatbelt, but I can move. The people that are, paraplegic and quadriplegic, I can't believe the only thing keeping them in the chair is that silly little lap belt. But I don't know, maybe they tape down their legs and floppy arms. Sorry, I'm not trying to make light of it, but you really are not, I've been paralyzed on one side, so I'm speaking from experience. Your ass is floppy. When the muscles don't work, they start to shrink and get really weak, and then you're really floppy. So I'm just thinking, if you're like that all the time and I don't know, 3/5 of your body is not rigid, I feel like they're sliding and slipping all over the place, and I'm like, they need a cargo net, not a lap belt. I need a cargo net in the dang thing. Okay, I ranted and raved about that. Why? Oh, right. So, and then my only other option is my wheelchair here. But using that a few years back, all enthusiastically to get exercise, and it was great. I felt great. It was doing good. I lost 60 pounds, and then they came back because over winter, the weather was kind of crappy, and then also I was injured after that, and then I've been injured ever since. And it's you understand what I'm saying? Everything that I could do to combat diet with exercise keeps getting movement blocked. I I'm sure that it's happening for some reason that'll become clear later, but right now I'm like, yeah, but I am expanding, not shrinking. So, Thursday, I had been thinking about this and trying to control it for like the past 2 years, but the things that I mentioned, and this has nothing to do with weather or vehicles or even my injury, it has to do with my illness that put me in the stupid wheelchair in the first place. Sometimes that flares up and I can't do anything. So I feel cheated. Like so many days that were nice and good and beautiful to go out and do that in, I wasn't able to. And I want to make up for lost time, but I don't want to hurt myself doing it. And I'm not taking out the manual wheelchair hardly at all. Not even to go up to the mailbox, which is not hanging off my door. That's for sure. I have to go a little ways to get it. I mean, inside of an apartment complex, so it's not like far, but you know, I'm not fully functional, so that factors in. And I've been kind of like, well, what can I do? And there's a lot of talk about Ozempic right now, and then I saw like Kelly Clarkson, you know, she's had a problem with her weight for years, and she got like slim and looks really nice and everything, and she was asked about it by one of her guests, and she didn't take Ozempic, but she took something else that's like it, and she started taking it because she said they were offering it to her for years, so like various drugs. I'm assuming like the later ones, they've gotten some of the bugs out of the prior ones, which were like, basically they were speed, or they screwed up some organ or something terrible. So I didn't even, you know, bother with them. And plus they cost money, and I didn't have insurance for years. So now I have insurance, and I go to the doctor and I wonder why, because she said they offered it to her because of her weight. They're like, you're having a problem with it and you're not able to control it, and it's just not healthy, and she must have diabetes because, well, I don't know. I take that back. That may not matter at all because she can just pay for it. I have to use the insurance that I now have, and I discovered that despite the concern for my morbid obesity, I am not eligible for weight loss drugs because I don't have diabetes. So I guess the system that's so all-knowing, better than doctors and patients and everything else, feels like it's totally cool to wait till people actually get sick to make them use the medicine, to allow them to be eligible to get the medicine that's supposed to bring them back from the sickness. It is insane. I don't know if it's just cruel and they like it. Like, get this terrible illness that you don't have to get. Here, we have the stuff that'll prevent you from getting it, but we ain't going to give it to you because we make that the condition for you to have the drug. But you got to have the disease to get the drug. That is insane. It's like the stupidest shit I ever heard. Oh my God. But this is not the first time I've been just thrilled with insurance companies. And it sucks because the reasons, I don't have to explain to anybody really. I mean, if you've been alive for like 10 years, you've heard what that's all about from start to finish, because that's the topic of so many conversations with people and on television and books and movies and radios and blah, 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 blah. It's everywhere. Like, everybody knows. Except the insurance people. They're just like, screw you, get sick, and, maybe irreparably damage parts of your body that would be needlessly so, just because they won't just be all about cutting costs. It's like, I know that the wealthy class gets really upset with the lower classes who have to go to the emergency room when something is wrong with them because it gets that bad, and it ends up costing all this money. But at the same time, those are the same people that try not to pay a single dollar in tax. So what are they bitching about? It's not even theirs. They just want to boss people around. I don't like that, but that is like a prevailing attitude amongst wealthy people and the right. And the reason why they go together is because the right is all about giving the wealthy people the tax cuts and all of that. So I hate it. I see people that are like nice and normal humans, and they get rich and they turn into horrible Republican people, and it's all about that stupid dollar. Well, I don't have the stupid dollars. I just have the stupid health and the stupid insurance that are not helping me. So I was thinking, I have to do something else. What? Puffer came back. Puffer came back. You ate your food. You already had your mush. You still have some. Go eat it, honey. Puffer came back. Puffer came back. Puffer came back. And Puffer came back. Hey, Puffer. Puffer came back. Puffer came back. Sorry. Puffer came back. Puffer came back. Puffer came back and flooped. When Puffer came back, okay, I'm busy right now. Is that enough? He keeps doing that right when I'm doing this. I hope you enjoy that. So here are the cards I pulled, and I guess I'm gonna look at them through the lens of what I was just talking about, finding a way, I guess, myself to deal with my weight thing, which I was already really trying to do that. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. But I do have an option available to me. I hate dieting. I don't want to not eat. So that's why I look this way. Like, you don't like it too bad. But anyway, there's a diet called the Mediterranean diet, and it was pretty popular for several years. It still is, you know, and that's the thing about diets. Why is it a fad? Can we just figure out, like, there are different types that can tolerate different foods and all different types of people. So it's kind of hard to just be generic about it, but I feel like the ones that we know work, like the Mediterranean diet, which the people in the Mediterranean, like, smoke and drink and live a long time because of their diet, I believe. So the only thing about it is I stopped doing it because, and this was probably like almost a decade ago, I had to stop because I couldn't afford the groceries for it, because it was a bunch of stuff I don't normally buy. I keep it pretty cheap with beans and rice and produce, and, you know, I'm not buying fancy stuff. I'm not buying meat. So, fancy stuff like ricotta, that's kind of spendy, and that's something on that diet you eat every day. Also meat and cheese, and I don't know. It just got too expensive, and I couldn't keep doing it. And so that's why I haven't gone back, because prices have not gotten cheaper. But I guess I'm forced to, because I don't want to outgrow my clothes. I have so many things that I'm already paying for, new, not even fun purchases, like things I have to be paying for. And also because of insurance, I have like some financial constipation, you might say, because they're supposed to be paying for something that I've been having to buy with my cash money, and it's just not blended well with my pre-existing cash issues. Yeah, I got a lot of problems. Anyway, so all of that in mind, I'm going to read these cards. The first one is chiastolite. It's very crystal looking. Unwavering tenacity is the subtitle. And it reads, temper us in fire and we grow stronger. We suffer, we survive. Well, I was already doing all of that before all these other issues I was talking about came up. That is life. But, you know, unwavering tenacity will serve you because of all of the little things that can happen, some of which I talked about a minute ago and some of which I've talked about other times, but we all got them. We all got these funny little problems that just like to come up, and they're like, oh, things are going smoothly and you're happy? Well, here, let me throw myself into the works. I'm a wrench. All right. But, you know, we do grow from our difficulties because you learn your coping skills, and if you are tenacious and you don't give up, then you find a way to fight down the hunger cravings. Oh my gosh. And by the way, I weaned myself off opiates because that's what I was taking because of my condition with cannabis. And so I smoke because I can't just eat edibles. That's all sugar. Like almost all of it is sugar. And also none of it is strong enough for me. So the doctor's like, yeah, I saw that in your record and you should stop. And I'm like, you should bite me. Because I ain't gonna stop. Because it should also be in there that it's substituting for my pain medication. I have an alternate way to consume that too, and it's almost as fast acting and is strong enough. Unfortunately, it requires a lot of cannabis for the preparation, and I've just been like squeezing everything tighter and tighter, and I don't know, man. And my cat needs to go to the vet too. It's just like, woo. Okay, anyway. So the next card was Sugilite. Sugilite? I don't know. What do you think? Sugilite? It's pretty. It's like a stone eggplant. Oh, look it's got like, I don't know. I guess that's like it really, hold on, where's my indicator? There it is. It looks like that's really in the stone, but doesn't it look like little bursts of like electrical charges or something in there? And what's that? Like, it almost looks like it's on fire in there, like a ring of embers. I don't know, it's pretty. It's a cool looking stone. Star is the ow! Oh, ow! Stub my toe. Okay. Star is a subtitle. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. Well, I mean, if there's stars at night and you can see them, they can help you find your way. And we have fond feelings for stars. We wish upon them from our childhoods, and then we grow up and realize what they are, and some of us go there and study them, or some of us just study them here. But they're beacons in the dark for sure, you know. And if you're gonna, here's a metaphor for it. If you're in the dark about something, you can have hope, I feel like, because you know that there's always going to be stars in the sky. They are just always there. They always will be there. Like for your little lifetime, they're forever. And I think it's like telling me that, well, you don't have to be fearful, you know, of, well, the night, I guess, is the scary thing in this metaphor, but I'm not exactly fearful that I can't control my weight. I know that eventually I will figure something out that'll help me find my way to... I'm not looking to be all skinny. I don't mind being round. I don't mind being soft. I just need to fit my clothes, and smaller clothes. But loving the stars, I feel like, is loving that part of you that wants to make that change. You know, like, I'm using myself here, but the star is like what I can refer to and look at, just even to show myself in my head as like an icon or an avatar for, you know, you're not lost, you'll find your way. You know, just like the sun comes up every day, your guide lights will be there. I mean, unless you're where I live and there's cloud cover all the time, but you know they're there. I mean, you can whip out your phone and go, I'm here. What stars are there through the blanket of clouds? It's like hope. It's always there if you want to take it up, you know, and I think when we take it up, it becomes more powerful. Like, we feed the hope and give it power, thereby giving power to ourselves. So, yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out. You'll figure it out, whatever it is. The next card was Citrine, and the subtitle is Illusion. Everything you can imagine is real. Oh, that's some real timeline stuff. But it's interesting that should come up, though, because it doesn't it look like a bottle of perfume if you take away the chain, like a fancy bottle. Anyway, this to me is talking about that, you know, we live in our own reality thing. And so I can imagine I really desire to be losing, or not just losing weight, but I gotta figure out, like, how to regulate myself so I can have what I want to have, because I know you can do that. Like, I guess that's Weight Watchers thing, but Weight Watchers wants money just to talk to them. And as I mentioned, I don't have that much to be spending on. Like, I gotta buy food and talk to people that I gotta pay for. That's not tenable. But I'll figure it out. I can imagine that I will have it figured out. I think I'll find the way. I always do. And, you know, usually you see illusion and you associate it with, like, somebody that's hallucinating and they're tripping out and they don't know what's going on. But illusion can be good. It can work for you. And I think that's what I'm saying in this case. And so the next card is Labradorite. Labradorite? I've never heard these pronounced. But here it is, another stone, and look, it's got more of that little blue fire stuff and more. Well, that just looks like there's some kind of hot center and it's sort of cracking from the inside and that heat and light's trying to get out. And I feel like, you ever see like a volcano eruption and there's lightning around it? And doesn't that just seem like so chaotic, and like I'm like cringing as if I'm being shocked, or as if I have like electricity running all through me. I don't know why I think it would make me clench. Oh, probably because of stun guns. They give that impression that electricity kind of makes you just, you know, go rigid. But that's what these blue sparks or lines remind me of, is that lightning. Like, there's so many forces going on inside of the volcano or inside this stone that it's just creating all these kooky fires from the inside. Pardon me. So the subtitle here is Kindness, and it reads, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle." I just gotta say, I don't know where they get off saying that. How do you know it's harder? Harder than what? Harder than mine? Harder than yours? That's not a metric I know how to measure by. I'll just take it though. You know, speaking of kindness and timelines, I have been making the effort to improve myself physically and mentally, which I would anyway, but I have a direct purpose to do it now, is because I'm going to make changes soon to my life where I'm going to be not living alone anymore, and that'll be interesting because I've never really lived with someone, well, I mean, I've lived with other people, roommates, but this is not that type of roommate situation. This is like a long-term relationship situation, a moving in together situation. So, that's going to take some doing. I have been living alone for a long time, except for like with a cat. So, I mean, I hope you can understand what I'm saying. It could be, it'll be interesting for sure, no matter what. But, yeah, I'm not afraid, but I am a little apprehensive, I guess, because I don't want to like screw it up for me and the other person. Anyway, the weight thing is not really about that, although I don't think they would mind if I lost some weight. They don't seem to mind how I am right now, but I do. I am uncomfortable because right now in the moment, it's like I can't like get it to slow down and calm down, and I hope this change to my diet can do it. But anyway, there have been a number of things that I was working on anyway. I was working on them anyway, and I thought, I should really consider that more, like working on more things more before I go move in with this person. And I just don't want to bring any like unnecessary baggage. It'll be good for me and it will be good for the situation. And I feel like every time we make like a major change to ourselves, that I don't know if it's a jump of a timeline, but it might be an edging over the timeline into another one. Because this didn't feel like it had any velocity, and there's also the Lionsgate portal opening right now, but still, I just have felt for the past couple of days, except for like what I talked about, because that's what I've been thinking about, I've just felt like kind of blank. And before that started, the portal opening, I've just been feeling like I guess I need to take like a summer break because I'm not finding new things to study and like further open my mind. And I have finally learned, like, because this feeling comes pretty often, and I do associate it with a timeline jump. But you have these periods where I guess everything changes, and that makes everything that you were experiencing and comfortable and used to happening, when it stops and or changes, I guess you just feel at a loss, at loose ends, because you haven't quite formulated how the new way to feel is or something. Yeah, that's that feels about right. So, kindness, yes, you want to be as kind as you can, just for the sake of it pays off in your life. Not necessarily in monetary dividends, but there's other forms of value out there besides currency, money. It makes me so annoyed because I never have enough of it. I don't need to be super rich, but I would like to have what I need. That'd be nice. That'd be nice to not have to put 3 things on the I can't do it list every month, Or maybe you don't. So that's my story. Uh, but mainly, I just want it to be reciprocal. And it's not like you're going to be kind to somebody and get a receipt and then turn it in when you're needing somebody to be kind and you're feeling crappy. That's not how it works. It's kind of like an honor system. You just be kind and don't worry about it, really, I mean, it's coming. You don't have to like sit there and keep hitting the walk button or the elevator door button or like whatever it is that you're trying to rush. It has a process. It's going to take as long as it takes. Get your finger out of there and just, I don't know, do something else with it and go think about something else. The bell will ring when it's ready, right? And so, yeah, the bell will ring with your repayment for your kindness. It may not look like a direct exchange, like you're not going to pay for it in a package and get it put in your hand. It's more than likely going to manifest in some way that you were not even expecting. And maybe you'll put it together in the moment, like, oh, here's my kindness payment. Probably not. Probably it'll be in retrospect where you'll have some time and perspective to go, oh, whoa, that happened after I did this. And now that I'm thinking about it, that probably made this happen to make that happen. There's always connections because, I mean, we're all connected. I'm sorry, I just went blank because I'm thinking, do I have to explain that again? I'm not gonna. So the last card was Chalcedony, and the subtitle is Create. Here is what a Chalcedony looks like. And it looks like it's very soothing and pleasant. Like, I bet it feels good against your skin. I'm sure it's been through a tumbler and it's all polished, but still it's got a warmth and a glow that's sort of coming. Well, is it coming from within? It's actually not. I think it's kind of sort of sitting around the outside of it like an aura or something. But it does have a soothing vibe. Blue for me generally does, because it's like close to a watercolor, and sky and all these nice, big, soothing things. So the subtitle is Create, and it reads, life isn't about finding yourself. I'm enunciating heavily on these parts because they're italicized. That's not what it is, but you understand what I mean. They're accentuated. So life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself, creating you-self. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. There goes that making your own world, your own reality thing. The more I think about that and talk about that, the more sense it makes. Although I didn't have a hard time with it. I've read too many comic books with multiverses and things for that to be confusing. At least that's what I access, and it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But really, that could be as simple as something happens and you have the choice to be happy about it or angry about it, depending on the situation. And if you choose either one, it's going to create a reality. And so which one is going to be more beneficial? Which one is going to be more fun? Which one is going to be kinder? You always want to play for the kindness goal. I would think when creating your own reality. However, some of us are operating on a different level, and that is not what they're looking for at all. They're not looking for kindness or calm. They're looking for chaos and argument and anger and revenge. And it's like the people that you can't reason with. There's an episode of American Dad, and it's the one where Stan can't get the lawnmower started, and he ends up kidnapped for a little while by some like cartel-like people, and some of the, I guess, gangsters talk amongst themselves a couple of times also in the episode, and they're just like regular guys talking, and the other guy is like, oh yeah, that guy, we have to go fight him to the death, and everything he says is like something to the death, and his friends are like, guy, what's going on with you? Why is everything to the death? And that's what I feel like it's like with the people that you can't like have a peace negotiation with them. They don't want peace. They want to fight. They want to argue. They want to use that gun on somebody. In the excuse level is the bar is getting so low, it's been low. But I love it. They'll say they want it for protection, but they want to shoot first. Do you see what's wrong with that? And they don't want to hear anything about working it out. They want to do it the hard way. They want to do it to the death. So there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people just acting on it and going ahead and doing it to the death sometimes. And you, I hope, can put together what that all means. That's pretty obvious. Pretty much drop the anvil on you. So I don't know. I can't say that. Well, what is the main underlying theme here? Is there one? Yeah, I guess so, because basically me wanting to like do all these things with my weight control and, you know, my idea of how I want my body to be so that my life can function in certain ways and how that affects my health. Sick world is not as fun as healthy world, I'll tell you that. So that is like me trying to like create my world, and then also the other people that are just not ready to not be angry and do everything to the death. Like that's like their path right now, and I got mine. I think whatever. I was gonna make a comparison, but I just won't do that. So, but yeah, I think the underlying theme here is making your own world, your own reality, and my hope is that you'll do your reality in such a way that it's not harmful to the other realities around you. Nah. Wait, how do you be a hippie again? I don't remember. I might just be doing it. Okay, so I guess that's it. Thank you and good night.